Alright, so you got a phone call the other day from some turd saying you're being sued. It was sort of vague. About 3 weeks ago, I also got a phone call along with a text message in all caps saying I'm going to be sued. I'll try to post it on the side of me here because I'm kind of filming in a weird angle. Anyways, they said I was being sued and all this stuff, and when I talked with the guy, I go, okay, well, what's going on? Who's suing me? Because I work a standard 9-to-5 job. I did sell some things online here and there over the years, but nothing too big that would get me in a lot of trouble. I've always been very cautious. I've never been married or divorced. Never been involved in anything sort of shady. Just mainly a 9-to-5 job. Haven't had any accidents or hit and runs or anything to do with an automobile, or no like financial things that were questionable, stuff like that. I've been past couple of years pretty on the straight edge, so I was kind of confused. I was like, okay, who's suing me? So anyways, I talked to the guy, and like everyone else, for about the first 10 seconds, I got really nervous, like, oh shit, what the hell's going on? And then I go, okay, well, who's suing me? And he goes, well, we can't tell you that. And immediately right there I knew it was fake, because if you're being sued, you're gonna know you're being sued, and I'll go over that in a sec. But bottom line is what these are is they're shakedown phone calls. They're pretty much like the IRS type scams. How the conversation goes is they go, look, you're being sued, we can't give you any details, but we'll take care of it for you and represent you for a fee, and they'll want X amount of money. But the reality is no one's suing you, so they want anywhere from $100, and it could be, from what I've researched, all the way up to like $2,000 or $3,000. That's how the con works, but in reality, no one's actually after you. They just make it sound like it is. So let's go over real quick what happens if you're really being sued. I'm not an attorney, but this is just basic information, and my dad has been sued and has won each time. He has his own business, and he's had employees try to sue him for essentially false labor accusations. The majority of the time is they don't show up even though they sued, or the judges always found him in favor. But you can also research this online. If you're being sued, what will happen is a sheriff's department, or what's known as a processing server, will come to your house, knock on the door, and give you a letter, and the letter will essentially be the form that you're being sued. They'll briefly kind of explain what's going on, and they'll also want to check your ID and also have you sign some paperwork verifying that you received the letter. So essentially what happened, someone shows up at the door. This could be what's known as a processing server that works for the courts or kind of the sheriff's department, or the sheriff's department themselves. They'll have a badge, could be in a letter or maybe just by itself on a clipboard, and just hand it to you. But there will be a huge thing. There'll be identification being checked so they verify it's you, and there'll also like stuff you sign saying you got the letter. Okay, so what will happen if you're being sued like in small claims court? Let's say the lawsuit's like $500 or something small. They may not go all out to send the sheriffs and all that for you, but it'll be the same. The post office will take care of it. And this is only in some states, they'll come to your house and deliver their mail like they normally do, but then they'll ask, hey, we got a certified letter for you, and you have to sign for it, and we need to check your ID. And so essentially the post office will take care of it. Again, this is just in some areas. Or what will happen is you'll get a letter if you're not home, like one of those things saying you missed a package, to go to the post office to pick it up, and then at the post office they'll hand you all the paperwork and do it like that. Where did this even come from, and how did it happen to me? What had happened was I've been working for the same company for the past 9 years, and about the first year within the first 6 months to first year, I had changed my phone number. I had started a new company, was sort of looking to begin anew, all this sort of fancy stuff everybody does. Got a new phone number, and immediately it was unregistered to everything, all that stuff, just complete clean slate. For the entire 9 years, I never got a solicited call. I never got a call from a telemarketer, from an auto dial thing, nothing. When someone called, I usually knew them, or they acquired my number somehow, like, I exchanged numbers with someone on the street or something like that. But never any sales calls or anything at all whatsoever. So this past year, my company wasn't doing so good, and I decided to look for another job, and I was using job websites such as Indeed. I wanted to find something a little bit more than just Craigslist. So I applied on Glassdoor, Indeed, and I think there was 2 other job websites. I think Monster or something like that. Now, some of these websites have you upload a resume, so potential employers can maybe find you. And I think this is kind of a dumb thing that they do, but places will have you upload. So I was like, oh, okay. So I followed the instructions, I uploaded my resume, redid it all, made it all fancy, and I did the standard resume that you're trained to do. So I just did the name, address, phone number, and then a mission statement, then your education and employment, blah, blah, blah. And just not really thinking anything of it, because I haven't applied for a job in the last 10 years. Well, kind of, but I looked a little bit just on paper and direct websites, but using an actual job placement thing, like a job search engine type of thing, I haven't used in 10, 12 years. I just put all the standard stuff, and then that's when the phone calls started coming in. The telemarketers, the auto dial phone calls, the IRS scam calls, things like that. So a lot of these places are using these job websites to fish for people's information. And I began to realize, because I didn't know, I thought these companies kind of protect that and all this stuff, and they kind of don't. So what ended up happening was I essentially gave everyone out there publicly my name, my address, and my phone number. So when they called, is this so-and-so, but you live at this address, and you're trying to figure out where they got your information, well, it's from my resume being uploaded online. Lesson learned. But to protect yourself in the future, if you want to keep the classic way you do resume that you're kind of taught in school, you can use a Google burner number and maybe just explain somewhere on the resume that this is just a temp number while you look for a job, because people can find out if the number is legit through carrier or if it's a burner number, even through the Google thing. But at least they'll protect you from scammers. So if your resume has a Google number for temporary purposes, as soon as you find a job you like, then you just get rid of the number and no one will be able to find you. And then when you get employment, you just tell your actual employer that, hey, this is my real number. So that's one way. And another way is just email. And some places may question why I have emails contact, but again, if you just kind of want to put in small print, brackets, just kind of say, hey, this is upon interview, I give out my real number or something like that. Just kind of express you want to exchange emails just due to scams and stuff like that. But that's one way to sort of protect yourself. So be careful out there when you're looking for a job. Once again, I hadn't used one of these sites probably in about 12 years, because I think the job I left to get a new job, which I ended up finding, I just applied in person, the old classic way where you just walk in and you apply. So I didn't even look for them, but I remember using Monster and stuff like that back in the day, but it's probably been 12 or 13 years since I've used these sites, so I didn't realize this is being infiltrated in the way it is. But yeah, that's how my information got leaked and all that stuff. And when I talked to the guy, you could tell right away it's a scam. If you're being sued by Disney, let's say you sell something online or you upload something you're not supposed to, and you're gonna know you're being sued by Disney. I'll kind of post a photo of what a lawsuit will look like, but you have the plaintiff and the defendant. It'll say all the names, it'll say who's suing you, they'll give the lawyer's name, all that stuff, and then your name will be attached to it. And then there will be a huge paragraph explaining in detail what you're being sued for. It'll give dates, it'll give exact things. It'll say on this date, such and such person uploaded this, and we asked them nicely to remove it. They didn't. On not doing it, then, it escalated to the next step. So someone's going to visit you if you're being sued, and you're going to know right away who's suing you. You're gonna know. It's nothing to worry about. Don't be scared if you get these phone calls. If you want, the ideal thing what you should do is just ignore them. But if you want, is you could troll these people and film it, because a lot of these IRS scam videos, they have a very particular niche a lot of people like. So if you look on YouTube, many of these IRS scam callers where people bait them and mess with them for a long period of time and all this stuff, they get anywhere from 100,000 to 3 or 4 million views, and these are the IRS ones, some Microsoft tech scammers, things like that. So if you want, you could turn the tables on them and film it, and then make money off of it. So they're trying to scam you to get money off of you, but if you already know what's going on, You waste their time, run up their phone bill if they're, or Skype bill or whatever they're using to call you, and then put it online, and then if you're eligible to, then monetize it and make money. You know, so I always like those people that do those videos because A, they're funny, and B, it totally turns the table on them. And a lot of them know it too, so they kind of know. They'll hang up now when they realize that they're being they're kind of being counter scammed and pulled around, because they know, everyone knows they're uploading them, and so now they just hang up because they know, like, you're able to make money off of it and all this stuff. So and there's literally nothing they can do about it. Yeah, so if you ever get a phone call saying you're being sued, it doesn't work like that. You're not being sued. Calm down, take it easy, and go from there. That's pretty much it. And have a good day. See you around.